everyone. Let's just double check our screen here because we're going to see how our table looks. Okay, table looks good. So, happy Thursday. Just a few days before Christmas. I'm very excited. I promise everybody, I know you're going to have to find me when you see this notification, but I think I've determined that I'm going to have to use a third-party software just so I can schedule everything in advance. You guys get the proper notification. And that way I'm sure I can go into the room when you're in there waiting. That's kind of why this is, hi, whoever came in, please say hello, because I see a number one popped on there, so we know a human being is here. Hello. Is that Kathleen McGee? Woohoo! Yeah, but only right at 11 when I turned it on, Kathleen. I think what we figured out is I'm going to have to use OBS. It's hard to go in on a mobile phone and just start the live with that create button. It's not working right for me. Hello, who's ever saying hi? My lighting's a little bright here, so I'm having trouble seeing people's names on there as it's coming across. I didn't have a chance to actually test my camera because I got here and it was right at 11 when I poured my resin in my cup. So, one of the questions I got asked last night was, what is the difference between the primary elements and the other mica powders that people see out there? Hi there, John. How you doing, baby? And it's confusing because you see so many jars of colored powder out there. How do you know the difference? And so I talked about coating, which of course, the more different coatings I talk about, the more confusing it gets. There's the one for the interference. We talked about the iron oxide yesterday. Oh, I'm so glad you made it, John. The coatings for the colors are a little bit different, but what's similar in all of the color-coded micas, and even ours, we have some in our BlingIt, pardon me while I grab my gloves, is if you drop them in water, the water stays clear. If you paint them out, and I'm going to do it on white cardstock here, you'll see that they don't look complete unless a little drop of color has been added to them, right? So the primary elements were in our 20th year making them. And it was my dream to make something that had the ground dried color in the jar. And by the way, fun fact, color is dry. It doesn't come liquid. When they mine it out of the ground, and yes, there are still fallow mines in the Middle East, it's dry. It's a dry substance. Even the lab-created colors, they're a dry substance. They're not a liquid. The liquid color that we use to make our liquid paints, we buy from a company that takes that dry color and suspends it in something that we can use to make a paint. So what we essentially did starting 20 years ago, I can't believe it's been 20 years since I did that first beta test for the primary elements. It was at the Rubber Stamp Show in Carson, California. My concept was, I have this glove on I wear over I have a arm thingy that I put over my glove just to keep all the paint off of me when I'm working. So the color is dry, and what I wanted to do was take pure ground dry color, mix it with sparkle, which, I'm going to be a sparkle girl. Everything I have is going to have a little bit of bling in it, right? And we created a product called Primary Elements, and so it's got ground color and mica in the jar, okay? But the confusion for people, and I'll show this on camera here, in front when I flip the camera over. This is a color called Prussian Violet. But you'll see the difference when I paint them out. I still don't have any, oh yeah, I have some water here. Today we'll be using water in the cup to thin these out, because water is the best way to kind of show off the differences in these mica coatings. I think it's just one of the best ways to give you an indication of what they're supposed to look like. So here we got our brush. So let's flip the camera over real fast because we don't only have so much time, okay? Let's flip this puppy over. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. Now I'm gonna use Pearl-Ex as an example. Here is one of their blues. It's actually a pretty fine, it's got a fine tone to it. So the thing is, the smaller they make it, the more coverage it will give you. Okay, so a coated mica, they're pretty, right? They're gorgeous, but they don't look complete when, great, there's a little yellow in my paintbrush, but okay. They don't look complete when put on paper by themselves. I will say that the finer you get it, the better the coverage. But the more you water it down, you're gonna see that it's the coating on the mica that's making that flash that we see. And again, this is a pretty color, but the color, there's no actual color in that mix, right? The paper's still staying white. We've got a coating on the top, but there's no color in the actual mica powder. Now, here's a color of ours called Chalcedony. I'll probably be playing with that today. This is in the glass swing set. Now, what we do with our color-coded micas, this is also a BlingIt, is I'll make a blend. I'll use 2 or 3 different colors, and there might be a little larger particulate like the sparkle, right? Or one of the diamonds or a couple colors. But even our BlingIt, same thing. You get this surface beauty, but there's no color, right? Now, and I'm really not trying to stain my tabletop here. Be honest, let's get a paper towel, because I just got my top clean and I want to mess it up as I go. I don't like to start in a dirty kitchen. So now I'm going to take, this brush is a little bit stained because of the mica powder that's in there. So I'm going to take some of this Prussian Violet primary element. So it's ground, color, and mica. This is really important. We educate the world on this. Now that's a paint. And that will, now this is, ooh, that was 2 sheets of paper. That will eventually go through. But do you see the difference? I guess one of the best ways I can do, but it'll get my hands all stained, is if you try to rub this stuff between your fingers, your hands will be stained. That will not happen with your regular old mica powder. So I bet you if I sat here and let this sit long enough, that will eventually go through. Yep. I got it wet enough so you could see the past saturation, and there's color in that. There's actual color, okay? So like I said, we've been making these for 20 years. Very proud of them. The market's getting a little crowded right now. It's getting kind of confusing when you're seeing all these different colored products in the jar. It's like, well, what's the difference? Especially a brand new recreational user. It's just, it's a fact of life. But about 2018, I was contacted by, let's get back to my face so I can see you guys in visages for a minute. I don't want to